Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cozy Cottage. So, quick video for you guys today, and this really has nothing to do with the Cozy Cottage, but I know some people don't really know how to start or are intimidated by a wood stove and how to start it. It's very simple, couple basic steps, so I'll just walk you guys through that, make sure I show you guys how to do it, and you get to enjoy a nice warm fire using a wood stove. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so it goes without saying you need dry wood. Hardwood is best. I wouldn't burn any softwoods in the wood stove unless that is your only option. So typically you want to burn maple, oak, birch if you have nothing else. And simply because softwoods like pine and spruce, they have a lot of tar in them, so they clog up your chimney real fast. So I mean, you can burn them, but you have to make sure you clean your chimney often, so you don't start a chimney fire. The other thing too is you get the most BTUs out of hardwood, right? So it burns the hottest, and you get the best heat out of those types of woods. So to start your fire, what you want to do is, I don't use any accelerants or anything like that. Just use some paper. Old like flyers from the store work great. Typically put a log or two that's dry, that's not too large. So we have a stack of wood here. So I'm gonna put a couple logs in there, and then you want to put in some kindling. And for kindling, I find that cedar works the best. It burns really well and hot, and you just fill it up with your smaller chunks of wood like this, and obviously it's got to be dry. If you put in wet wood, it's not going to work. But we have a whole bunch of cedar that's been cut up and it's been sitting there for quite some time. So just throw, and it doesn't have to be pretty, doesn't have to follow any specific direction. Really, you just want to make sure that you have enough air, kind of in pockets between them, so air can get in there. If your stove has a damper like this, you make sure you want to turn it all the way on. Some stoves will have a flue damper in here somewhere on the pipe, so you want to make sure that that is open so you don't fill your house with smoke. But that's really it. And then once you have all this set up, you just light her up. Okay, light it in a few spots. And wait for it to get going. Now, what's very important here is once you light the fire, you can't just close this door. So what you want to do is, once it starts going a little bit, you want to just put the door like this. So you're leaving about an inch gap here, right? And obviously, keep an eye out on it. Don't leave it unattended, because sometimes what happens is a log might roll out and you'll set your house on fire. But the key right now is leave a little gap and let that go. And really what you're trying to do is heat up this pipe and your chimney. If the chimney's cold, you're not gonna have a good draw, and as soon as you close that door, the fire's just gonna go out. The stove is gonna fill with smoke, and that'll be the end of it. So the really key thing is leave the little door like a little bit open for, I'd say, maybe 5 minutes till the fire gets really hot and going, and then you can close it. So as you can see, it's starting to go and it's crackling. So what we're gonna do is we'll let this thing go, and I will show you when it's a good time to actually close it. All right, so it's been probably about 7-8 minutes. Let's take a look at the fire and see how it's doing. And this is where we're at. So we have a good, nice, raging fire going. And if you look at the temp indicator, you can see it's in the burn zone, which means the pipe is nice and hot. So at this point, we can try and close it and see what happens. So once you close the door, just kind of keep an eye on it. If the fire, like if you see the fire dying, no big deal. Just tilt it open and then leave it open again for a couple more minutes and then try again. So not rocket science, it's all pretty straightforward. Just keep an eye on it. But once you have a good fire going like this, you're good to go. That's it. So enjoy your fire, and thanks for joining me on this one, and I hope we'll see you again on the next video. Take care.